Hello, welcome to Chapter 15 for Business Math called Sales. This is Lesson 15.2, Markup Rate. As always, make sure you're reading the chapter, going through the lesson, look through the examples, pay attention to the formulas they're using, take a look at the concepts and vocabulary. It's important to understand what's going on within the problem, not just getting through and finding an answer, but what does it actually mean? What are you doing? Because sometimes if you don't understand the relationship between the pieces, it's not going to make sense what to do next. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and read the little summary they give us up top here. So businesses must generate a profit or they will not be in business very long. The markup is often expressed as a percentage of the selling price. The markup rate is determined by finding what percent of the selling price is the markup. The formula is, and here's the formula, markup rate equals the markup divided by the selling price. So most of this page is pretty darn easy. We're only going to go through a couple of these and call it good. And I'm going to let you guys do the rest of it. So with 1 through 7, we're given this table, and it says fill in the table below, round all percents to the nearest tenth of a percent. So it doesn't want you to go super far out. Shh. Doesn't want you to go super far out on the percentages. So we want to go through the table, and it gives us an item. So it tells us spray paint 12-ounce can. The selling price is $5.99. The cost is $4.16. So we need to know the markup. So first we need to subtract, and that'll tell us the markup. How much are they marking it up for us to buy? And we're going to do that for each one of these. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go through and put my symbols in here so that we calculate the markup for each one. And the percent markup is literally, we're just going to divide the markup by the selling price. So we're just going to take this amount here and divide it by the $5.99, and that'll give us our percentage. Make sure you write it as a percentage. It's saying percent markup, so it says percent or rate. They're looking for a percent there in that column. All right, so I think I'm going to let you finish that table. I know I didn't really do much on there, but I kind of gave you guidelines a little bit. These next two problems here for 8 through 13, they want us to determine the markup rate based on the selling price. So it's pretty much the same thing we just did in the table, just they're giving us a tiny little bit of story. So the Fix-It shop buys vacuums for $109 and sells them for $149. So we have a selling price, we have a cost, we subtract to find our markup, and then we divide that markup by their cost. Fibbing, by their selling price. Looking at the formula, funny there. So by their selling price. So we divide the markup by the selling price, sorry. So we're just going to go through and do that same calculation for each one. We're going to calculate the markup by subtracting the selling price from the cost, or cost from the selling price. Sorry, said that backwards again. And then dividing that markup by the selling price. Like I said, it's the exact same calculation for every single one of these. If you notice, you can go back and take a look at section 1 of chapter 15. This is the exact same problem from section 1. They want us to calculate something a little different, but if you already have the numbers from section 1 for the markup per case, which was $2.27, and the markup per box, which I believe was 28 cents. I'm going to take a look at that really quick just to make sure I have the correct numbers there. Yep. So we already have these from section 1. And so we already know our markup. All we have to do is divide by our selling price. So the selling price for a case is $10.99. So we would divide the $2.27 by $10.99. The selling price per box, remember there's 8 per box, so we can divide this by 8, and that'll give us our selling price per box, and that's what we would divide this number by. So we have to do a little bit of calculations here, but for the most part, this one should already be done as long as you've completed that piece in section 15 there, because we don't have to recalculate these if we've already done them. So hopefully we see that without me just telling you. that is it for section 2. So I hope that helped, and I will see you in section 3.